Mr. President, I rise today to speak for just a few minutes about the dreamers in our country, the young people that we've had a debate about recently and will continue to debate with regard to the so-called Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, known by the acronym DACA. The United States is a proud nation of immigrants, and ending this program does not make sense either morally or in terms of our economy. Rescinding the program will cost the United States jobs, it will hurt our national security, and it's a total betrayal of the trust of the federal government. Dreamers are young people who have lived in our country for a long time, since they were children. They've been law-abiding residents, they've learned English, they've paid taxes, secured jobs that support themselves and their families, and our government promised them that they would be protected if they came forward, and now the administration is breaking that promise. President Trump's actions with regard to DACA are an insult to America and are an insult to American values. This action is unjust, it's immoral, and it's without regard for basic fairness. Tearing apart the lives of these young people will make our nation less safe and harm our economy. Ending DACA does also not make sense financially. In Pennsylvania alone, estimates are that ending DACA would cost Pennsylvania $357 million per year in GDP losses. Nationwide, the number is $460 billion from the GDP over the next decade. Ending DACA would remove approximately 685,000 workers from the U.S. economy. According to the Cato Institute, deporting DACA residents would cost more than $60 billion. And finally, the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy estimates that 1.3 million young people enrolled in or eligible for DACA pay some $2 billion each year in state and local taxes. Let me just share one story of many, Mr. President, about a dreamer that I met, in this case back in April of this year. I was proud to meet with her, this individual from Lancaster. Her name is Audrey Lopez. Audrey is one of those dreamers. She came to the United States as a child with her parents, who were seeking a better life for her and for her family. She grew up in Pennsylvania and graduated from college. The United States is the only home that she knows. When I met Audrey, she was worried about the debate about immigration and immigration policy. The debate that we've been having in Washington mostly since January of this year was causing great fear and uncertainty in her community. Audrey's obviously concerned about the immigration debate and in particular what happens with DACA. She has worked with Church World Services, an organization that helps resettle hundreds of refugees each year in Pennsylvania. They provide services to help new arrivals adjust to their new home and become successful members of local neighborhoods. Audrey is now a student at American University pursuing her master's degree in international development, of course, after getting a college education as well. This is America. This is who we are as a nation. When young people like Audrey have a chance to work hard and to succeed, to get an education, to contribute to the American economy and to the fabric of our society. We're a country in which hardworking young people who are working to better themselves and their community are given a chance to do so, in a sense, fulfilling or living that dream. This program, DACA, has allowed almost 800,000 young people whose stories are very similar to Audrey's to grow up and thrive in America. It makes no sense to heartlessly remove dreamers from a country they call home. In response to President Trump's decision to end DACA, Congress should move immediately to pass the bipartisan DREAM Act. This bill will allow dreamers to become permanent residents if they meet the very stringent qualifications outlined in the bill. In Pennsylvania alone, 5,900 people have been granted DACA status. Passing the DREAM Act will give these people the security that they need and a future they can count on. We should be focused on humane and common sense solutions that keep our nation safe and allow it to thrive. I was proud to vote for the DREAM Act in 2007 and 2010 and hope we will have a clean vote on the DREAM Act very soon. Mr. President, I would yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.